The games simply do not stop, and this time Spain will be taking on Ukraine away from home. It's tomorrow evening. It's yet another Nations League fixture. And well, the groups in the Nations League are really heating up right now, all over the competition in fact. And well, our group, we know just how tight it is too. You know, you've got Germany right on our heels at the top of the group, and also Ukraine and Switzerland always providing tough fixtures. So honestly, for this game we've got coming up, we've got to be physically and mentally prepared if we want yet another victory. And honestly, if we want to win this in all truth, guys, we've got to really go for it. It's going to be a tough game, a huge game. And if we come up with 3 points, guys, this international break would have been an absolutely resounding success. So there's lots to come. The preview is going to be an interesting one. There is actually quite a bit to discuss. So without any further ado, let's get on to the preview of Ukraine versus Spain. And if we take a look at the backdrop for this fixture, it is going to be the Olympic Stadium in Ukraine. That's a 7:45 PM UK time kickoff, as a lot of these Nations League fixtures are. The times on that will change depending on where you guys are, but it's 9:45 local, 8:45 in Spain, so that changes depending on where you're going to be watching this fixture. But fans will be present, guys, so maybe you're not going to be watching it at home, because maybe some of you guys are going to be at that stadium. If you are a Ukrainian, 15,000 or so of you will be allocated seats there, so that could actually have quite a big impact on the game. Could that make things a little bit harder for Spain? I think it probably will. But let's start with the host here for this fixture. It's going to be Ukraine yet again. We did a preview back on the game we had against them last month. It was a really good win for us. But for Ukraine in the Nations League so far, they beat Switzerland at home, and then they've gone and suffered a bad defeat to Spain, and more recently a defeat to Germany by 2-1. But like we said a month ago, guys, Shevchenko's side are a good nation. They really are. It's not going to be an easy game. They do seem to be improving. They recently topped their qualifier group against Portugal, for goodness sake, who just got some really good draws against Spain and France. So Ukraine are a good nation, and Shevchenko has got them playing well. But I just think of late, in the last month or so, maybe post-COVID, or post, lockdown if you would, they've just looked a bit poor to me. They really have. The 4-0 defeat to Spain, yes, we're a good nation, and we were really good that evening, but I think it was a bit of a weak display from them. And also the 7-1 thrashing they recently suffered to France almost just speaks for itself. And I want to even point out that narrow 2-1 defeat they just suffered to Germany. People will be thinking, they gave Germany a good game, but they really didn't. They were dominated in that fixture, and they just got a late penalty from a silly Sula challenge. And even then, after they got the goal back, they rarely threatened Neuer's goal. So honestly, Germany dominated them in that fixture, and that's what I will say about Ukraine. Respect them, of course. They can hurt us, especially with the fans behind them. They're a good team. Like we've said, they've been building over the last couple of years under Shevchenko. But also make sure we punish them. Really make sure we do that, because I think it's a good time to play Ukraine right now. And like I say, away to Ukraine, never an easy fixture. It just isn't. It's not a particularly nice venue to go to. The fans make it a little more difficult. I just think Ukraine away isn't the sort of game you really want to be playing on a Tuesday evening when there's so many games coming thick and fast. But it's a fixture that it's a good time to play in, I think. Let's make the most of this one. Ukraine look weak right now, results-wise. And also want to speak about how many key players Ukraine are missing, because I don't think I've ever really made a preview right now where a team has looked this poor. So on top of the fact they've already been playing poorly right now, they don't have much confidence, they've suffered some bad defeats, they're going to be without so many key players. It's unbelievable. And if I just go through the list of some of those guys, I'm probably not even going to be able to include everyone here, but there's going to be no Pyatov, no Lunin, the 2 goalkeepers, no Matvienko or Krzysztof at the back. I look in midfield, Malinovsky, who got the goal against Germany midweek, I believe is not going to be present for this fixture. And then further on, you've got Stepanenko, Konoplyanka, Zinchenko, Bulayowski. None of those players are going to be here. And even up front, Junior Moraes, who we spoke about last break as a danger, isn't going to be present. Neither is Kravets, neither is Subraiha. So honestly, a lot of these guys maybe you don't know, but we're looking at the key players here. No Pyatov, no Krzysztof or Matvienko at the back. They both have a good number of caps between them. And then honestly, guys, the midfield, no Malinovsky, no Stepanenko, no Konoplyanka, no Zinchenko. That's almost, guys, all of Ukraine's midfielders gone for this one. And then up front, Moraes, the key feature really in this team, isn't going to be there. So they've still got players like Yarmolenko for sure, but I'm just looking through the list of players they have available now, and they've all got less caps than the guys who are out injured for this fixture. So honestly, Ukraine, massively weakened. And like I said, Spain, take advantage of it. We really should be beating Ukraine anyway, I think, but the amount of unavailabilities they've got tomorrow is just huge. It really is. So as a Spain fan looking at that, I'm thinking, take your chances here. Put Ukraine to the sword, because I think we really should be beating what's going to be put in front of us. So if I just show you guys the lineup that Ukraine lined up with against Germany, honestly, I wouldn't expect them to make too many changes from it. They don't really have much available right now, and this is probably their strongest team. You look through it, and honestly, can you guys say, a lot of these names? That defence to me just looks weak. It really does. They're missing some key central defenders there. They've never really been strong in the fullback back areas, but even though Piatov in goal was a bit of a miss for them, although I thought Bushchan had a good game against Germany, probably kept them in it, despite his mistake for the Goretzka goal. In midfield, Malinovsky, who's in the lineup right now, like we said, I don't think he's going to be there for Spain's game. He was the goal scorer against Germany, so another one's missing. Who comes in for him? Honestly, we don't really know. But then there are a few more options. Yarmolenko can hurt us, that's for sure. Sidorchuk's a good player. Kovalenko's not bad. Neither is Sigankov. Yarmolenchuk up front. I can't say I'm his biggest fan, but he's got a few caps, a few goals. That's all we can really go off. But Ukraine is an okay team. But I think they're so much better than what they've got out right now. And honestly, for Spain, good chance to take advantage. A great chance to pick up 3 points. On to Spain now then, guys, and in all truth, we haven't actually looked that flashing this break, we haven't looked that good, but like we keep saying, we are building foundations, we really are, against Portugal and against Switzerland. I don't think we were that great, I really don't, but we are building a good base of players, the lineups are coming together, they're way more consistent, and we're hoping to see more of that tomorrow evening, but I really think that this packed fixture schedule is playing a massive role in hurting our squad. It really is. And teams to me right now are looking quite fatigued. I think, again, we'll probably have to rotate, which isn't ideal. I really want us to go out with a strong lineup tomorrow. I just can't see it happening in quite a few areas of the pitch. I think Luis Enrique is going to rest up maybe some of those older players. But for me, they're absolutely crucial. If we want to be beating Ukraine, yes, they're weakened, but we want to be going out there with a good lineup and putting them to the sword. But we've already got a weakened squad. No Fabian, no Diago, no Carvajal, and then also more injuries, guys, by the way. We've got no Diogo Llorente and no Gerard Moreno for tomorrow's game. So the injuries, the COVID cases, all of that sort of stuff is really racking up on most teams now. You've seen that with Ukraine also. They're missing a bunch of players, and we're missing quite a few here too. And I also think for us tomorrow, it's just about winning this game. It really is, because we did our job against Switzerland, and I want to see a similar thing here. I really do. I have a lineup in mind that I'd want to play. It's quite strong. I want to be going out and winning this match. But like I said earlier, I just can't see Luis Enrique playing it this strong. I think he's going to rotate. I think he's going to be careful with some of the older players, because people look tired right now. Towards the end of that Switzerland game, both sides were just very, very tired and kind of just wanted the game to end almost. But I want to put out a strong enough lineup that's, careful enough, it's consistent enough, that is capable of getting us 3 points. I think he's going to make changes, and I think he knows certain players need to rest, but let's just see what happens. So on to my Spain lineup then, and this lineup on screen right now is the lineup I will be playing tomorrow night. I've put De Gea in goal. I think Luis Enrique will stick with that. At right back, I've gone with Navas. Honestly, I think he could rotate him for Sergio Roberto, but let's see. I think Navas deserves to play that. At left back, I've brought Reguilon in. For me, that's a no-brainer. I hope he does that also. Gaia didn't look that good and probably also needs rest. In defence, I want to see Ramos and Pau Torres starting together. Does Eric Garcia come in? Maybe, but I want to keep that centre-back partnership. It's a vital game, and I hope he goes for it, basically. In midfield is where I think we won't see this at all. I've gone for sort of a 4-2-3-1 shape, mainly because I think Ukraine have been giving up a lot of possession anyway, and with a weakened lineup, they did it massively against Germany. They ended the game with only 27%, and I think Germany had nearly 20 shots and over 10 on target, so honestly, Germany seemed to dominate Ukraine. They really did, so that's why I'll put this lineup out. Busquets and Merino for me. Two of my favourite players right now in the national team, really good at controlling the game. For me, they make a great pivot in there. And then just in front of them, I put Oyarzabal. I thought he had a good game against Switzerland midweek. He got the winner, of course, and that's what matters. But I'm just going to drop him down into a number 10 position. I think he can hurt players in that sort of role, and maybe we're missing a Fabian or a Diago this break to go in that sort of position. Definitely, I think we could be. But there are certainly alternatives. Does Canales play? Maybe. For me, Dani Olmo definitely needs a rest. I think Rodri will probably play in midfield also instead of Busquets. But in terms of my lineup, this is what I do. Then moving on to the front three, guys, I've kept with Ferran Torres on the right and Sulfati on the left. And I've brought Rodrigo Moreno up front. We're definitely lacking in number 9s right now. We could see like an Olmo or a Oyarzabal going up front again, and then another midfielder like Canales or Campagna coming in, even a Rodri. I think personally that's what Luis Enrique will go for, but this is the lineup I would go for. Take the game to Ukraine, not a lot of rotation, I understand that. That's probably why we won't see this lineup. Look, I've only brought Reguilon and Rodrigo into this lineup for Gaia and Dani Olmo, I believe, was it? So that's why I just can't see this lineup happening. But I would like to see it. It's strong, it's consistent, it's got energy in it, it can hurt Ukraine, and I want to be winning this match, guys. But if we just wrap up the video here with my match prediction for the game, I've gone with Ukraine 1, Spain 2. I expect a tough match, as always, I really do. I think the crowd are going to really be able to help Ukraine. I think they're going to play a role in the game. But honestly, I think we really can and will dominate this match. I think Germany did, which certainly means we can. We've got the players. We really, really do, guys. My main worry is just fatigue. It really is. I think we've got a tired squad right now. But honestly, just looking at player by player, we've got so much more quality and ability than Ukraine. So for me, it has to be a win. And honestly, like I've said a few times, it would be a huge win. It really would be. So let's go out there and make this international break one to remember. Let's make it a crucial one. Let's get some victories under our belt. And we always said coming into this break, beat Switzerland, beat Ukraine, and that's a wonderful, fantastic, and crucial international break we've got through there. And we're getting closer now, guys. Switzerland have been beaten. Now it's time for Ukraine. And like I say, Ukraine are extremely weakened right now, guys, so there is a good chance to do that. Go out there and get the 3 points. Let's see what sort of team Luis Enrique goes for. Let's see how Ukraine are feeling right now. Are they very battered? Are they quite fatigued? I think they will be, so let's go out and win this match. Maybe not too many low rotations, please, Luis Enrique, because our team is already quite weak right now. But let's see what lineup he plays. I'll see you guys for the match review straight after the game. And until then, enjoy yourselves, enjoy the game, and goodbye.